My plan was to come to Washington, come to Washington, be a patent examiner for 4 years, then go to St. Louis and practice law in a law firm. And I did that, went to the best law firm in St. Louis, but in all candor, it was boring. The question is, why am I doing this? I used to handle very important inventions when I was in the patent office. I was in charge of the electronic security division. I wasn't in charge of it, I worked in the electronic division. So anything that came in that was marked confidential, secret, or top secret from Navy, Air Force, whatever, came to our division. And so I was handling very important inventions. Then I was out to St. Louis handling these mediocre inventions. I got Bob on the phone and I said, "Are you still interested?" It's Gerry O'Brien, who was his boss, other Gerry. "Is Gerry O'Brien interested in hiring me?" And he says, "Wait a minute, let me find out." He says, "Hey, Gerry," I hear him call. He says, "You still want to hire Mossinghoff?" And I hear this, "Hell yes." And he came back, he said, "You're hired." I said, "That's all it takes in the government today." Just one hell yes, and suddenly I'm hired. I thought it was a little more detailed than that. He said, "Well, we got to do some paperwork, but Gerry O'Brien wants you, Gerry O'Brien will get you." And he said, "Hell yes." And so that's the end of that. And so after they had the paperwork, and I went and told the boss, and they wanted me to stay at St. Louis. I was a good patent attorney, but finally I called Jean and said that I just talked to Bob Allnutt and Gerry O'Brien, and they want to hire me at Washington. And she says, "Does that mean we have to come back to Washington?" And I said, "Yes." And I said, "When can you be ready?" And she said, "I can be ready at 2:00 unless you need me sooner." So that was it.